Notre Dame football recruiting fans, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad Hughesby, and today I'm going to be going through the latest with some of the top defensive targets for Notre Dame in this 2023 class. You're watching Jason Moore on your screen, defensive lineman from DeMatha Catholic in Maryland. He is one of the top targets on the defensive line and pretty much the only defensive line target left on the board. Notre Dame just landed a commitment from Devin Houston and Boba Traore. They already had commitments from Brennan Vernon and Keon Keeley. They have four guys at that position, four top 250 4 stars. Just a mammoth haul for Coach Al Washington, Marcus Freeman, and Al Golden. And they're looking to add one more guy to that, and that is Jason Moore. He is a take from what I've been hearing and seeing. I have no doubt about that. Jason Moore, top 50, 60 player in the country according to the composite rankings. He can line up anywhere on the edge, inside. His brother is a basketball star at Villanova, so he has the athleticism, the genes to go with it. This kid is going to be a freak at the next level. As you can see by his highlights, he just dominates that Maryland football scene. Next, we'll head to the linebacker room. Defensive line, Keon Keeley, by the way, is looking more than solid. I doubt he takes official visits anywhere else. But linebacker-wise, they look to have one more spot open. That spot will hopefully go to Jaden Osbury, linebacker from Louisiana, who's on your thumbnail on the far right. Osbury's brother is Austin Osbury, who was a corner target for the Irish last cycle. His brother ended up signing with the Auburn Tigers, and they look to be one of the main threats for Notre Dame. Michigan is involved in this one, as is Louisiana State, the hometown school LSU. He lives pretty much in Baton Rouge. His dad works for the school, but I don't think he ends up at LSU. I think he's just been there. It's kind of a boring school. I don't want to put it that way, but he's seen everything he wants to see. I think this one's down to Auburn and Notre Dame. He's really, really close with his brother, but I think Notre Dame's athletics and everything they have going for them will put the Irish over the top. Jaden Osbury, would just be a massive pickup, and it would be a massive third linebacker. They're really shooting for a really, really good third one to go with Preston Zinter and Drake Bowen, both of whom are fully committed, and Drake Bowen just got a Notre Dame tattoo. Now, for the defensive back room, it gets a little bit more complicated. Peyton Bowen maybe taking official visits to a school like Michigan, Oklahoma, or Texas A&M. Alabama's lurking, USC as well. Still in contact with those schools. I think Notre Dame ends up signing him, but he's not locked in by any means. And then you have a guy like Adon Schuler, who's locked in, whatever, but you need more than one defensive back. So they recently offered Josiah Wagner from Washington, 5'11", 170-pound corner, top 200 guy in the class of 2023, and then Calvin Simpson Hunt from Texas. He's a Texas Tech commit. But I don't think that ends up holding. Schools such as Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, Ohio State, and Bama have offered pretty recently since he committed to the Texas Tech Rebels. So, this kid's a stud, super, super talented. LSU, Georgia, Ole Miss, and others have offered as well. So this kid, one of the best in the country, and Notre Dame's trying to flip him. He'll be on campus for an official visit in June, as will most likely Josiah Wagner. I don't think his visit's locked in yet, though. But Notre Dame definitely wants to try to land those guys. Micah Bell has been a target for a little bit. I think Notre Dame leads there, but I think he wants to stretch out his recruitment into the fall. He's not quite ready yet, but I think Notre Dame will try to change that on his official visit in June. And then Christian Gray, who is also in the thumbnail, one of the longest targets for Notre Dame. People thought this one would be wrapped up by now. It's not, and I think LSU is making a pretty big run here. I'm still going to side with the Irish, but LSU's in this, Bama's in this, Ohio State is in this. There's just so many factors going into this recruitment. It's one of the bigger, more talked about recruitments in all of the 2023 kids, other than probably Dante Moore and Carnell Tate. But wow, big target Christian Gray is. Those four corners are pretty much the last guys on the board. And then at safety, it's primarily just Caleb Downs or bust, the 5-star from Georgia. Has not locked in an official visit yet. I do think he ends up taking one to Notre Dame. We will see. But he already has 3 locked in, so Notre Dame's fighting for 2 last spots. But that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions about the Notre Dame football recruiting. And I'll see you guys next time.